All right, we're here today with the Laing Steadicam. This is the M30E Steadicam. And there are some great features about this Steadicam that brings you into a professional environment with this. So first off, we'll go through all the elements and show you how to work your new Steadicam from Laing. So we have the V-mount battery plate. Okay. Now your battery plate should go on the back of your Laing Steadicam. So this will slide in place on the bottom there, like so. And then the next step we have is your monitor. And the monitor slides right up in here. Okay. Monitor attachment, V-mount battery attachment. Okay. Now, what's very nice about the Laing is everything is ratcheting T-handles, thumb screws here, which tighten down your monitor so you can position your monitor. Also the same with your V-mount battery plate. This is your camera sled / stabilizer. So on top of your stabilizer, you have your quick release plate. First you unlock your thumb screw here, and then you push in your red button, and that releases your quick release plate. We will be working with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. And this Steadicam can take up to 35 pounds of weight. So it is able to hold things like a Red Epic camera or a Red Dragon or an Arri Alexa Mini, or a Canon C300. So it can take some cameras that are pretty heavy and beefy. This is a smaller camera, but with the cage and the rails and the lens, this camera does become roughly around 10 pounds. Once you put on a matte box and a follow focus, you're going to probably get more to 15 pounds on this camera. Okay? So you have an arrow here on your base plate, which tells you that this goes towards the lens. Okay? So once you do that, you have an arrow on top here. You line up your arrows, and you slide your quick release plate in. And then lock it down. So now we have our camera up on our sled and our stabilizer. Next, we're going to attach our monitor here. And this all has 1/4-20 inputs. So 1/4-20 thread, all standard. And we will tighten our screw down here. Okay. We want to make sure our monitor is straight there. And once we have our monitor in position, then we can loosen our screw here. And we can rotate this to a placement that we like. We have our V-mount battery and our V-mount plate adapter here. So we'll go ahead and slide our V-mount battery onto our V-mount plate. And then locks in just like so. Okay? With our V-mount plate, we have our D-tap on our plate here. D-tap power. So we'll plug that in, and then we'll plug it into the bottom of our stabilizer, which has a pass-through the stabilizer itself, and a D-tap also on the back of the stabilizer. So we can see that. We will plug our camera into this D-tap here. You do have an SDI input option and an SDI out on the bottom to connect to your monitor here. This is also a good way of how you know what piece goes where. Your battery goes on the back because your D-tap is on the back end here, and your monitor goes on the front. That's where your SDI is, okay? So we will take our D-tap and plug in. And we will wrap up any loose cables from flying around. Next, what I also like to have is I'm going to put a follow focus on here so we can focus. You need to have a follow focus because you cannot hand focus while operating a Steadicam. So we will add a follow focus onto here. In order for me to power everything, I have to have a multi-D-tap connection. So I will plug this into my D-tap on the back, and then my camera and my follow focus onto here, and I will attach it to the body of my camera. And again, taking all loose cable and tightening up close to the camera body. So I am going to attach my wireless follow focus, because all this needs to be attached for balancing. Now that we're all mounted up, the next thing we have to do is we have to balance our stabilizer. So we will take it off our mounting bracket in. We will take our handle here and slide it on like so, and watch what we do. Stabilizer is leaning to the front. That tells me I have too much weight going out this way to the front of the stabilizer. So I will slide my monitor in so gently until I get to a position where I'm kind of happy with. Next, I will take my battery plate and I will slide it back to distribute the weight more to the back. The beauty about this Laing Steadicam stabilizer is it functions just like any professional Tiffin Steadicam. Next, we will take our stabilizer off. We will flip this around and put our stabilizer in our mounting position. And lock it. Okay? So one end is mounting. We're mounting onto your vest and arm, which we're about to show you. And the other position is for balancing your stabilizer. Okay? So now that we're pretty well balanced, we'll go through the vest and the arm and how you mount everything. Okay. Now we're going to talk about our Laing vest. You also have your arm adjustment down here, which you can loosen and then slide your arm up and down into position depending on how big you are, and then tighten down, lock into place. And the same thing for your sternum. You unlock, you pull the pin, and then you can slide your sternum up and down. Locks into place, and then tighten back down. Okay? Over here, you have your arm balancing. So you have to balance your stabilizer, you have to balance your arm, which we will show you in a minute, to your vest. So you don't want your camera to pull away from you or go side to side, and we'll show you how to balance with these knobs here. This is your in and out on your arm, and this is your forward and back on your arm, okay? So what I like to do is I like to unbuckle everything except for these buckles here. Once loose, you can open up, slide right over top of you, pull your pin, and we're going to slide our arm component right in here. The Laing M30E arm, which again, this can take up to about 35 pounds of weight. Okay? You want to line your arm up. You don't want to have your fingers anywhere in these notches or holes or anything like that that's going to pinch you or cause a problem. So with one hand, hold the weight of your arm, line up the holes, and slide your pin in. Taking the weight of the arm here, you're able to slide your pin in nice and smooth. And I'm ready to mount up my arm, my stabilizer onto my arm, and I will unlock my stabilizer from here, freeing it up. I will stand away from my stand, and I will hold this into my right arm out. I will grab the handle like so and slide onto the arm. Once I'm ready to do that, I will take a step into my stand and let the arm do the weight of the camera and pull it up off of the stand, okay? And a 3, 2, 1. So we will go back into our mounting bracket here. Lock your stabilizer in and do opposite motion. And then free and lock your arm. I hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Laing M30E Steadicam rig.